What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we are going to be talking about how to be confident as a man. The word con is from Latin. It means with, and the word fidere is also Latin. It means trust. Confidence is to have full trust in yourself. And a lot of people think that the pursuit of confidence is vain. It's something that you shouldn't try to do, that if you pursue confidence, you're going to become cocky, you're going to become arrogant. But confidence is something that most men struggle with. And I think that it's actually one of the most common questions that I get is, Brandon, how do I become a more confident version of myself? Some people will try to demonize this quest for confidence, and yet you see in the Bible that our God, the God that we as men are made in the image of, is an incredibly confident God. When Moses is speaking with God, he says, "Who shall I say sent me when I go to free the Israelites from enslavement in Egypt?" And God says, "Tell them, I am that I am sent you." I am that I am. The ultimate statement of confidence. The name of our God, Yahweh, I am that I am. There are three different things that this word exudes. Number one, self-confidence. Number two, he is unchanging. He does not change. It is an attribute of our God. And number three, he is mysterious and yet personal with us. So there are three different attributes that ultimately play a part in God being the eternal source of confidence, of unchanging will. Understand this about your God, about your Creator, and understand that you are made in His image. I have personally struggled with so many different things in my life that I have been incredibly insecure about. Taking off my shirt. I have struggled with acne. I have struggled with being insecure when it came to speaking with women. I have been insecure about my financial situation in my life. And there are different ways to deal with different insecurities. And so I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty with a couple of different examples to kind of walk you through and show you how you can develop confidence amidst these different insecurities, all right? So number one, just to give you guys kind of an example and then to show you guys how to go about developing confidence in that specific situation, we'll start with taking your shirt off. 75% of men in America today are uncomfortable and insecure taking their shirt off at a public place like the beach or at a pool because they are ashamed of the way that their body looks. 75% of men. That means that only 25% take their shirt off and they feel confident. We are shooting to be a part of that 25%. And I used to be the chubby guy that would wear a shirt to the pool, to the beach to try to cover up. I would do the infamous shirt pull whenever I would sit down to avoid getting my fat rolls stuck inside my shirt. I would constantly be going like this. So how do you deal with this? How do you deal with this insecurity? Well, I learned how to train. I learned how to diet. I learned how to put together a program that was ultimately going to give me a superhero physique. I trained hard, I did cardio, I ate right. What I didn't do was I didn't say, "Oh, I'm just fine the way that I am. I just need to love myself for who I am right now. I shouldn't seek to change." No, I accepted that it was a problem, a problem that I had control over, and I fixed it. What you'll start to realize is that your confidence as a man comes from your ability to control, your ability to be unchanging. Number two, this is a different scenario. I was incredibly insecure with my acne, something that is a lot more difficult to control. Mine was horrible, terrible, cystic acne, all throughout high school, even into college. At times, I didn't even want to go into school. I didn't even want to be seen in public. Guys, it was so bad. I have the scars today to prove it. And my solution to this insecurity was very different because it was something that I genuinely couldn't control. Like, I couldn't control how bad my breakouts were, no matter how much I tried to change up my diet, no matter how clean I tried to be. I couldn't change the fact that I just had terrible acne. My dad had terrible acne. It was passed down to me. But I wasn't going to sit and complain about it. What I decided to do was I stopped looking in the mirror. In fact, I would go months without looking at myself in the mirror. I would wake up, I would wash my face, I would brush my teeth with my eyes closed. I wouldn't look at myself in the mirror. And this is a key part of confidence, and that is choosing to not give a fuck. You see, a lot of people think that not giving a fuck is something that just all of a sudden comes naturally and spawns out of nowhere. No. It is something that you have to work towards. You have to actively work to not give a fuck in your life. You have to actively work to not look in the mirror. And as you do this, as you learn to not care about the things that you don't have control over, what you start to realize is that number one, you focus on the things that are in your control, and you start to become more nonchalant. And you start to act like the problems don't even exist because they're out of your control, so there's no point in spending energy worrying about them. Act like you don't even notice it, and you will start to appear like you are unaffected, like you are untouchable. People will even ask you, they ask me, they say, "Why are you so confident?" And I say, why wouldn't I be confident? Like, what are the reasons for me not to be confident in who I am? You start to become that type of nonchalant person. But it takes time in order to develop that. It takes practice. So I really want to get that point across. This comes from being perfectly secure in who you are as a person. And it helps a ton with talking to women. The more nonchalant that you are, the more that you talk to them as if you really don't care if they like you or not, the more that you will find that they actually like you. And in fact, this goes for every single human that you interact with. Be raw. Practice being authentic. Be truthful, all right? Part of being secure, part of being confident is acceptance in understanding that not everyone is going to like you for who you are. And you don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean don't be a kind, loving person, because you should. But at the same time, all of the extra mannerisms, all of the walking on eggshells that takes place in today's society, just in order to try to get people to like you, it's just useless. Practice being blunt. Practice being honest. Practice being truthful. Practice speaking your mind even when it hurts other people. Practice these things. It's something that you have to go out of your way to work on to develop that confidence. Like I said, you have to work to become nonchalant. It is something that you have to develop over time. You start becoming unfazed, and you need to focus on being non-reactive. You just need to be cool. You need to be chill. You know those people with crazy highs and lows where they're almost bipolar? They're either having an amazing day or they're having an absolutely terrible day. Their life is just a roller coaster of emotion. These people aren't the confident people. The confident people are the ones that are smooth, chill, and relaxed. They are a constant. They were a foundation. And that's how you should be as a man in life, and especially in any sort of relationship. You are supposed to be the constant. You are supposed to be the rational one. All right? Constantly be building your stack of proof that shows that you are who you say that you are. And when you work on things in the background, when nobody's watching, I talk about how in order to master something, you need to spend tens of thousands of hours working most of the time when other people aren't around. When you do that, when you start pushing yourself, when you start working towards mastering something, what you realize is that you start to give off this vibe, this aura, that you've got something going on behind the scenes constantly. And like all of the times when you meet up with people, it's almost like those are side quests. Those are side quests. But you've got a main quest that you're doing off by yourself. You're busy mastering yourself. You're busy mastering a skill. That type of confidence, you bring that with you into every single interaction. And you should have something going on behind the scenes. If you don't, you need to find something. You need to be working on that. That's something that you have to build. And when you go out, when you have a ton of experiences, whether it be dates, whether it be a bunch of business meetings, whether it be talking in front of a bunch of people, speeches, cold approaches, a bunch of workouts, crazy situations that you come into contact with, you will start to build up that confidence. It starts to give you this calm, grounded aura. And so when you run into those crazy experiences, when you have to speak in front of a ton of people, when you approach a woman, when you work out, treat it all like something that is building your character. It's pushing you in a specific direction towards self-betterment. It is improving your confidence. Every single task, every single day, even if something is daunting, it's increasing your confidence. It's making you better. So start looking at life that way. Start looking at life like a game to be played. And your character is the one that gets to be leveled up. When you start looking at life this way, it becomes really enjoyable. It becomes entertaining. When you do the hard shit that builds you up, you have proof. Not only to others that you can do difficult things, but you have proof to yourself that you can do what you say that you're going to do. And that confidence goes a long way. Remember, God says, I am that I am. Your goal is to be unchanging. Your goal is to be grounded. Your goal is to be mysterious, yet personal. Your goal is to be yourself. That is true confidence. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like down below if you did. Make sure to drop a thumbs up in the comment section if you watched all the way through to the end of this video, because that means that you have got an awesome attention span. I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you for watching.